How you doing, fam bam? This is Chris Mizo here. I'm here with some really exciting news because we've all been waiting for it. And if you clicked on this video, you probably already know what it's about. And graphics card pricing has finally been dropping. It's been at an all-time high, as we know, and it doesn't really help that we are in a inflationary period. So the cost of inflation helps push up the prices of graphics card, but we're not really going to be here on that behalf. First off, I want to go off into the graphics card segment because I want to let you know that there are graphics cards going on sale and it is below MSRP. If you're interested in any of these graphics cards that I do mention, make sure you go down in the description box down below because I do have them available. Now, from Newegg and Amazon, RTX 4090s and RTX 4080s have been on sale. It's dropped down $50. So for a RTX 4090, you can pick it up for $1,449 USD. And for a RTX 4080, you can pick it up for $1,149 USD. It doesn't sound like much. It is a great deal because it is still below MSRP and it is a sign for good things to come, especially because summer is coming up soon. As you know, the RTX 4090 features up to 16,384 CUDA cores. It's 2.52 gigahertz boost clock. It has up to 384-bit memory interference. And you can all get that for $1,449 USD, which is the current and best card that you can purchase. And if you're more interested in the RTX 4080, which has 9,728 CUDA cores, 2.52 gigahertz boost clock, up to a 384 memory bit interference, it is $1,149 USD. Some of you are probably turned off by the pricing itself because it's still over $1,000. Unfortunately, that's something that everybody's going to have to get over on because practically the new normal. I do have something really interesting to share with you, fam bam, if you feel that pricing is a bit too high. MSI is deciding to release a RTX 3060 Ti. It's Super 3X. It sounds probably ridiculous because nvidia hasn't officially announced a Super RTX 3060 Ti, but MSI has their own version of it. It's pretty similar to RTX 3060 Ti. As it is, the only difference, if you look at the graphics card, that it features up to 2 8-pin connections to this card. Now for this card, it's 5,888 CUDA cores, has up to 1.84 boost clock, and it features a 256-bit memory interference with 8 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory. The 8 gigabytes of the GDDR6X memory, what really differentiates it because of how much quicker it is to standard GDDR6. And more than likely, you're probably going to see the pricing for this about $449 USD because it is still a RTX 3060 Ti. And as you know, nvidia has cut a lot of their RTX 30 series sales, and now there are more focus on releasing RTX 40 series cards instead. And I wouldn't be surprised if soon we're going to hear about RTX 4080 Ti version coming up by the end of this year, which will be released of Q2 of 2024 or even Q3 of 2024. Now, another interesting factor, the reason why nvidia is cutting a lot of the prices or slashing a lot of the prices is because AMD actually jumped ahead and were the first ones to do so. AMD decided to cut their prices for the RX 7900 XT. Instead of it being $899 USD, they cut it down to $849 USD. As you know, AMD doesn't use CUDA cores. Instead, they use what's called streaming processors, which has the 7800 XT, which is a different type of measurement than CUDA cores, and it's not going to be exact, which is 5,376 streaming processors. And it has a 2.52 gigahertz boost clock, up to 320-bit memory interference, and up to 20 gigabytes of GDDR6. There is no X to it, But then again, you look at the price difference, it is nearly a $300 difference between the RTX 4080, and then you have a near $600 difference between the RTX 4090, the 7900 XTX will more than likely also follow the $50 reduction in price. Now, the question you probably all are asking is the pricing going to drop down any further? And it probably will, but it's not going to go incredibly by much. Don't expect the prices to be anywhere near like 2020 prices. A lot of you may have not remembered the pricing for that, but for a RTX 3080 when it was first released was 599 USD. The RTX 3090 when that was released was 1,499 USD. It is a much more big price gap between the 3080 and the 3090, but it's not that much of a price gap when you look at the 4080 and 4090. The RTX 4090, I kind of expected the price to it's pretty amazing actually for the price to stay nearly the same as the RTX 3090. But what I am surprised about the RTX 4080 jumping up in price so rapidly, where it is nearly a 100% increase in pricing, which is pretty ridiculous. Instead, it should be priced more at a more reasonable range for a RTX 4080. Remember, the RTX 4090 also features a 24GB GDDR6X memory, and so does the RTX 4080, where it features up to 16GB of GDDR6X. As you saw when I played games such as Cyberpunk 2077, especially when they featured the new overdrive mode, you could see how much memory that actually takes up of your graphics card. Even if you had an RTX 4080, it's just gonna barely make it in there. I was getting about 13.5 gigabytes being used up in the graphics card, which is nearly gonna be everything the graphics card actually has. Some of you out there who are thinking about the RTX 3060 Ti, it really isn't a bad decision at all. But the only problem with it is the whole memory size, as now more and more games are becoming more demanding, such as Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes to their overdrive mode. And you're looking at other games where they should have optimized it a little bit better, such as The Last of Us. It's pretty crazy that a game that's nearly 10 years old requires a graphics card such as a RTX 40 series. And come on, game developers, you could do better than that and stop slacking off when it comes to releasing PC ports, because you're just making yourselves look bad. The good thing is inflation is starting to drop a lot more. The feds are still continuing to push up the interest rates, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and they're trying to really get rid of this crazy inflation. It's a really good sign that you're seeing newer graphics card being released starting to drop in price. It's showing signs that the PC gaming market is heading more into a normal direction. Well, hopefully it should reflect in everybody's pay out there, because it is a bit ridiculous to be paying nearly a 20% up on pricing or 20 to 50% up in pricing when your paychecks aren't following up with the inflationary period. If you're looking for any of these pricings and you're interested in getting a graphics card and you can get your hands on one, especially because the summer's coming up and you want to be able to play the newest PC games with the best settings as you can, if you can, make sure you check down in the description box down below, because I had the best pricing available for it. I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody else who is into PCs and wants to purchase a graphics card, let them know that graphics cards are starting to drop in price and share this video with them. And also, if you're not part of the big wonderful fan band, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for all the newest updates. Make sure you follow my Twitter handle right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well. Fan bam, guys, if you have any questions at all, don't forget to ask. Feel free to ask. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.